going on, everybody? This is your boy Jamelio7 with Sinister 7 Gaming, and in this video we're going to talk about the Outriders broadcast that went live maybe like 30 minutes ago. I was going to do a live stream covering it, but decided at the last minute I wanted to absorb the content. I wanted to watch it back a couple times to really get a sense of how I really felt about all the things that they were going to be adding to the game. So here we go. First thing I want to do is commend People Can Fly and Square Enix for not giving up on the game. A lot of games run into a rough patch that the Outriders ran into a couple months ago, and they just tailed off and died, namely Anthem. But Outriders, they're sticking it out, and I want to commend them for that. And I don't think publishers and developers get enough praise for when they release a broken game. They fight and claw to try and, save it. So what was the major bullet points of the broadcast? Well, number one, we're getting really big DLC on next year. And number two, we're getting a really large update on tomorrow to kind of culminate all of the other updates that we've received over the last months as far as bug fixes, class improvements, class balancing. And the update that we're gonna get tomorrow, we're gonna get transmog, which is the ability to change account wide how your character looks. So you'll be able to make your trickster look like a devastator or your pyromancer look like a technomancer. You'll be able to do that no matter what weapon or class that you're playing on. That's gonna be dope. They are removing timers by default from expedition, as well as adding 4 new expeditions, but that's kind of drill down on removing timers a little bit. With the removal of timers, that adds a dynamic to Outriders that wasn't present up until tomorrow, honestly. And that's basically that feeling of being able to play how you want. I don't know about everyone else. I know for me, the reason I gravitated towards Outriders was because it gave me that feeling of flexibility where I can play my class however I want. That's why they gave you the 3 tracks. You had a defensive track, a support track, and then you had an offense, and all of them be viable. Well, with the timer aspect, all of that went out the window. Like, you go through the storyline, you play with friends, whatever, and you are playing however you want to play. You're playing your role, and when you get to expeditions and you to get the best drops possible, you have to finish as fast as possible. Well, not every class was built evenly, so it made for a stale experience in that regard. Also, it boxed a lot of players in that may have wanted to play a more defensive pyromancer or a more stealthy technomancer. No, you gotta go balls to the walls, DPS. This is a DPS check. That's what the timer did. Hopefully with the removal of timers, it'll open up more build diversity. We'll see more cool builds, because when you look at YouTube and you look at other social medias, when you see Outriders, you see 1,000,000 DPS and all kind of stuff like that. So that's gonna be pretty cool. That's gonna be a neat feature that they're adding. With the 4 expeditions that they're adding, they went into detail about the 4 expeditions, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody. So if you want to get those details, you can watch the broadcast. I'll link the broadcast below, and you can watch it there. But it's going to be 4 new expeditions that's going to kind of expand the world of Outriders and Enoch a little bit more as we get ready for the DLC that's coming on next year. They also showed a little clip of who's going to be the end boss of that. Well, with a couple of her, I guess, sub bosses. They show highlights of a few of those. They alluded to there being new legendary weapons in the DLC, which is going to be pretty cool. I think that the biggest question for this update, for this DLC, is going to be, is it too late? Did they wait too long? And if you think either way, whether they waited too long or didn't wait too long, they're right on time, I want you to comment below. I definitely want you to comment below. Tell me what you think. Tell me how you feel about Outriders. Tell me what you feel about the developers and this broadcast. I want to know what everyone thinks. I want to start a discussion about it, because I really do think this is a good game. I think this is a really, really good game. It was a clever idea on the looter shooter space, and for the most part, it was well implemented. And like I said, it didn't really feel like you were putting a square peg in a round hole until you got to the expeditions and then the time trials and whatnot. So with the removal of that, hopefully that opens up, like I said, the diversity and the griefing. They also have a fix for the griefing, like you won't be able to be kicked prior to getting your rewards now, because that's something else a lot of people would do. They would have you go through the expeditions, put in all the work, and then they'll kick you at the end. That was a real big thing. People did that. So I think between those three things, I think the update and the 4 expeditions to kind of hold you over will be good. I think the replayability of now, for people who didn't play, who didn't max out all classes, or people who just picking up the game, I think it's going to be incentivize you to want to play on your Pyromancer or want to start a new Pyromancer, so that you can have those new skins and those new look to transmog onto your Devastator or your Technomancer or what have you. So I think that all in itself is going to be a real big addition as well. Weapons. They said that they did some tweaks to the weapons. They did some tweaks to the classes. I can't wait to look at the patch notes. If the patch notes is as big as I'm guessing it's gonna be, I'm probably gonna do a follow-up video on tomorrow with that update. But if not, if it's nothing to really write home about, I'll just link that link in the description below as well for the patch notes on tomorrow. But like I said, the broadcast was pretty much short, sweet, to the point. They apologized for the game they released. And they basically said, we're here to make it right. We're here to get this thing together, and we need your help. We need you to stay with us and work with us, and we're gonna get it together. Tomorrow is the first step on this apology tour. Like I said, I think it's a good first step. I think tomorrow can be the first step to redemption for the Outriders. But I'll definitely keep everyone posted, everyone who follows me and subscribe. But if you're not a subscriber, definitely think about subscribing, because we're going to be releasing Outrider content along the way. Definitely help me fight off this algorithm by leaving a like. Even if you didn't like it anyway. Let's beat this algorithm. But let's continue this conversation in the comment section below, man. Let's find out, do we think the Outriders were too late in these updates? And let's talk about the future. But until the next one, this is your boy Jamelio 7 with Sinister 7 Gaming. Peace.